Japo Hare Krishna Hare Ram Vayonitai Gaura Radheshyam Japo Hare Krishna Hare Ram Vayonitai Gaura Radheshyam Japo Hare Krishna Hare Ram Om Ajanjana Timirandasya Anjana Salagaja Chaksur Militanjana Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Tvameva mata cha pita tvameva vandushka saka tvameva vidya dravinam tvameva sarvamam deva deva. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srimad Bhagavatam Mahapuran ki jai. Discourse 17. King Parikshit subdues Kali. Sutta Uvacha. Sutta said, there on the bank of the Saraswati, the king Parikshit saw a Shudra bearing the insignia of royalty, and with a club in his hand, belaboring a cow and a bull, as though they had no protector. And the bull, who was white as a lotus stalk and stood with difficulty on one leg alone, was seen trembling and urinating, as it were with fear, while being beaten by the Shudra. As for the cow, who yields materials in the shape of milk, ghee, etc., useful for religious acts such as the performance of sacrifices, yajna, etc., the king found her most miserable, being kicked by the Shudra and bereft of her calf. Her cheeks were bathed in tears, and she had grown very lean and thin and was hungry. 4. Mounted on his gold-plated car and stringing his bow, he challenged the tyrant in accents deep as the rumbling of a cloud. 5. Who are you that are powerful enough to strike the weak so violently in this land protected by me? Like an actor on the stage, you have put on the garb of a king, but by your action you are a Shudra. 6. By striking harmless creatures in a lonely place, and at a time when Sri Krishna has gone far away, ascended to his divine abode, along with Arjuna, the wielder of the Gandiva bow, you have proved yourself to be an offender and therefore deserve to be slain. Turning to the bull, he went on, as for yourself, are you some divinity in the guise of a bull, white as a lotus stalk and moving on one foot only, having lost your other 3 feet, and thus causing us great sorrow? 8. On this earth, securely guarded by the stone arms of the Paurava kings, tears were never seen to drop from the eyes of creature other than you. 9. Grieve no more, O bull, let your fear of the Shudra be gone. Weep not, mother, may all be well with you, so long as I am here to punish the evildoer. 10. The good reputation, longevity, fortune, and prospects in the other world of that wild king go to the dogs, in whose dominion O virtuous one, the people are indiscriminately oppressed by the impious. 11. To put an end to the suffering of the distress, this indeed is the foremost duty of kings. Therefore, I should slay this most wicked fellow and enemy of living beings that he is. 12. Who is it that amputate your 3 feet, O bull, O quadruped as you are? Let there not be afflicted souls like you in the realm of kings, who are votaries of Sri Krishna. Tell me, O bull, who it was that mutilated innocent and good souls like you, and that sullied the fair name of the Pandavas, the sons of Prita. May good come to you. 14. He who does evil to an innocent creature must have fear from me on all sides. Pious souls are surely benefit when vile creatures are subdued. 15. I shall certainly cut off the arm along with the armlet adorning it of the individual, be he a veritable god, who is in unbridled madness inflict injury on armless creatures. 16. Is it indeed the paramount duty of a monarch to protect those who stick to their own dharma, punishing, according to the injunctions of the scriptures, those other people who in this world have strayed from the path of virtue otherwise than in adversity? 17. Dharma replied, such an assurance of protection to the distressed is quite becoming of you, the scion of Pandu, whose hosts of virtues prompted the divine Sri Krishna to accept the humble role of an envoy, etc. to you. 18. Bewildered as we are by the conflicting statements of various thinkers, we know not the person who is responsible for the cause of suffering. O ye will among men. 19. Some who deny all difference declare their own self as responsible for their suffering. Others attribute it to providence, yet another ascribe it to their own doings. A fourth school averts nature to be the cause of suffering, while still others declare God as the bestower of suffering. 20. Some, again, hold that the cause of suffering is something beyond the reach of speech or mind. Now, investigate, O royal sage, by your own judgment, which is of these views is sound. 21. Should I continue? When Dharma spoke in the strain, Emperor Parikshit, O Shaunaka, was disillusioned, and with a calm mind replied to him as follows. 22. The king said, you speak what is right, O knower of Dharma. Evidently you are Dharma, the god of virtue, in the guise of a bull. You refuse to tell the name of your persecutor only because you know that the lot which falls to a wrongdoer is also shared by the denouncer. Vayonitai Gaur Radheshyam Japo Hare Krishna Hare Ram. 23. Or the right conclusion is that the ways of the divine Maya are surely beyond the scope of the mind and speech of living beings. 24. In the Krita age, Satyayuga, you had 4 wall feet in the form of austerity, purity, compassion, and truthfulness. 3 of them have since been destroyed by the progeny of unrighteousness, viz., pride, attachment, and hatred. Now, O Dharma, you have only 1 foot left in the shape of trustfulness, on which you are somehow supporting yourself. Yonder, unrighteousness in the shape of Kali, whoever seeks to rob you of the same, strengtheneth as it is by falsehood. And this cow is no other than the good Mother Earth, whose heavy burden was relieved by the Lord, and who was adorned all round by his charming footprints. Forsaken by him, the Holy Mother now grieves like an unlucky woman with tears in her eyes, to think that Shudras who hate the Brahmanas and pretend to be kings will rule over her. Having thus comforted Dharma as well as Mother Earth, Pariksit, who was a great chariot warrior, drew his sharp-edged sword in order to dispose of Kali, the spring of unrighteousness. Perceiving that the king was bent upon killing him, he threw off his insignia of royalty and placed his head at the king's feet, overwhelmed with fear. The praiseworthy hero Pariksit, who was kind to the meek and hospitable to those who sought his protection, took compassion on Kali, who had fallen at his feet, and did not slay him, but smiling spoke thus. The king said, "You have no cause for fear when you have joined your plans before us, that have inherent the glorious tradition of Arjuna, who had overcome sloth. But on no account should you stay in my realm. A friend of you are of unrighteousness. A friend as you are of unrighteousness." 32. Ever since you took up your abode in the body of kings, these numerous vices, greed, falsehood, thieving, weakness, proneness to sin, poverty, while cantankerousness and hypocrisy have followed you. Therefore, O ally of unrighteousness, you should not remain in Brahmavarta, which is a fit abode for piety and truth, and where Brahmanas, well versed in the elaborate rituals, propitiate the Lord of sacrifice through sacrificial performance. 34. In this land, O Brahmavarta, Lord Sri Hari abides in the form of sacrifices and blesses his votaries, nay, moving inside as well as outside all animate and inanimate beings like the air, the universal soul grants all their desires. Should I continue? Kali trembled to hear this command of King Pariksit. He made the following request to the king, who stood ready for striking with his uplifted sword, as Yama with his rod of punishment. Kali said, "Wherever I think of taking up my abode in obedience to your command, O Emperor, I find you, bow and arrow in hand. Therefore, O jewel among champions of righteousness, it behoves you to tell me the place where I may settle down permanently in compliance with your orders." Should I continue? Thus entreated by Kali, The king then allocated to him the following 4 places: dice, wine, woman, and shambles, the hotbeds of the 4 vices: falsehood, intoxication, passion, and cruelty. Vayonitai Gaura Radheshyam. Vayonitai Gaura Radheshyam. Japo Hare Krishna Hare Ram. Jai Ho. On Kali's asking for more abodes, the mighty king assigning him gold as the 5th abode. Thus he allowed to him falsehood, intoxication, passion, and slaughter of animosity, and Rajaguna, gold as the 5th. In obedience to the king's command, Kali, the progenitor of the unrighteousness, occupied these 5 abodes assigned by Parikshit, the son of Uttara. So let's remember the 5 abodes of Kali: dice, wine, intoxications, dice, games, woman, shambles, and gold. These are the 5 abodes of Kali. Now, these are concepts. This is something interesting to meditate on, because dice, we cannot say that it's only the dice for playing, but it means the hazard games indeed. Wine should not mean only wine, because some people will say, what if not wine but beer? What if not wine, beer, but cigarettes? What if not cigarettes of tobacco, but marijuana? So wine means all that is an intoxication for the mind. So all kind of drugs indeed. Woman also must be taken as a concept. This is a topic to get deeper on the meditation on this. What does it mean by woman? Cannot be because of the gender, just because of women are evil. This is ridiculous. There are so many saints who are in the body of a woman, right? The gopis are women. So it cannot be woman just because. What does it mean? Womanhood. What is the archetype that they are trying to explain through the word woman, if this is the original in Sanskrit? And shambles. Gold. What is gold? Luxury. Luxury. So in all these 5 stages and above, Kali Maharaj can live on earth. But if we avoid these 5 abodes of Kali, may we will be free of the Kali Yuga mentality. Now, how we can really get kavash, protection from Kali Maharaj? I ask to you who are watching this. You can give your opinions. Our Namacharya Ramdas Babai Maharaj have been giving us one is on Kali influence. And we wear it every single day. Do you want to know what is it and how to get it? So, verse Shloka 40. In obedience to the king's commands, Kali, the progenitor of unrighteousness, occupied these 5 abodes assigned by Parikshit, the son of Uttara. 41. Hence, a man seeking blessedness, especially a pious monarch, a leader of the people, and a religious preceptor, should never resort to this. This is interesting. Never resort to this. So these 5 things, but I will not say anything, really. 42. The king then restored the 3 lost legs of the bull, viz. Penance, purity, and compassion, and comforted the cherished Mother Earth. Very interesting. Very interesting. 43. The self-same monarch still occupies the royal throne, which was bequeathed to him by his grand uncle, King Yudhishthira, while retiring to the forests. 44. Shining with the glory of the Kaurava kings, that most blessed emperor of extensive renown, the royal sage Parikshit dwells even now at Hastinapura. 45. Such is the majesty of the king Parikshit, the son of Abhimanyu, during whose rulership over the earth you have undertaken the vow of performing this sacrifice. Here is a note on this translation I want to read, must be interesting. It's regardless to the Shloka 43 and 45. 43 reads, the self-same monarch still occupies the royal throne, which was bequeathed to him by his grand uncle, King Yudhishthira, while retiring to the forest. And 45, such is the majesty of King Parikshit, during whose rulership over the earth you have undertaken the vow of performing this sacrifice. So, what is the note? In verse 43 and to 45, the great king Parikshit had been spoken as if he were present at the time when the holy sacrifice at Naimisaranya was in progress. According to the aphorism of Panini, the present tense can be used even with reference to the immediate past or future. The great Acharya Vallabha of revered memory points out in his famous commentary, the Shubodhini, that even though Parikshit has departed from this world, his renown and glory were still alive. The distance of time which divided him from the period of the sacrifice undertaken by Saunaka and others have been eliminated in order to evoke the utmost reverence for him. His soul has merged in the Lord. That was also one reason why Shuta visualized him as present before his eyes. Not only the learned speaker, but his saintly audience too felt his presence. According to the Vedic maxim, Atya vo ya yate potr. The Father himself is reborn as a son. It was Parikshit himself who occupied the throne of Hastinapura in the person of his son and worthy successor, Jana Mejaya. Considered from all these points of view, a reference to Parikshit in the present tense goes to heighten the effect of the discourse. Then the king merged in Brahman. What was the real destination of him after leaving this physical body. Interesting, yes? Thus end the 17th discourse entitled The Subjugation of Kali in Book 1 of the Great and Glorious Bhagavata Purana, otherwise known as the Paramahamsa Samhita. Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. We will read tomorrow at the same time the discourse 18. Thanks very much for watching and for assisting to the holy lecture. Jai Sri Radheshyam.